Welcome to Keep It Local. This is a program produced by the Greater Beverly Chamber of Commerce and BevCam TV. I'm your co-host, John King, a chamber member and owner of Headway Strategies. I help individuals and organizations consistently achieve their goals.
And I'm Leslie Gould, Executive Director of the Greater Beverly Chamber of Commerce, which serves Beverly, Danvers, and surrounding communities.
In this edition of Keep It Local, we'll discuss how local weather, rain, ice, snow, and wind is brutal on roofs. Mario DeCarney of DeCarney Roofing will share to us how his company helps businesses and homeowners protect their buildings with roofing products and services.
College students can better prepare for the post-graduation workplace by participating in an internship program with local organizations. Kate Chroust, Senior Director of the Career Center at Endicott College, will share information about the college's successful internship program and its impact on the community and the students.
Processing payroll, acquiring talent, and demonstrating HR compliance with state and federal requirements has become more complex for companies of all sizes. MP Wired for HR has taken on that challenge by offering customers comprehensive payroll and HR solutions. Nick Mirabello, MP's Chief Inspiration Officer, will share how MP Wired has established themselves unique in this industry.
Establishing goals, writing them down, and executing them is a key to achieving the desired results. John King, this guy over here from Headway Strategies Consulting, will share his experience with us. Can't wait for that, John. But first, let's hear from a word from our sponsor, Sean Anderson from Big A's Home Improvement.
Hi, my name is Sean Anderson with Big A's Home Improvement. We are a proud sponsor of the Greater Beverly Chamber of Commerce Keep It Local show. We specialize in all sorts of residential, bathrooms, kitchens, additions, second levels, finished basements. You can reach me at 857-891-2589. Once again, that's 857-891-2589. Or you can email me at Sean, SEAN_BIG_A at yahoo.com. Feel free to reach out anytime. Thank you very much.
I'm with Mario DeCarney, and Mario is the third generation roofer.
That's right.
And he started his own company here in 2017, and he services the North Shore down as far as Woburn.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we go down 128 and from there all the way to Gloucester. So, yeah.
And what type of installations do you typically do? Are they new installations, repairs?
Yeah, we focus on new asphalt shingle installations. We do asphalt shingles and rubber, but we also do repairs, so big and small projects.
Okay. So there's lots of materials for roofing out there. I get advertisements all the time that they want to put metal roofs on because it goes forever and ever and ever,
Yep.
and asphalt shingles and, probably not thatch, but we have
Not around here so much.
we have that. But what are you seeing here in terms of what people are putting on their homes?
Everything around here is pretty much asphalt shingle as far as residential homes go. We are getting a lot of interest in metal roofing, which we've yet to dabble in yet. But then there's also, for flat roofing, mostly commercial, there's rubber roofing and TPO and things like that. But
EPO is?
EPDM is a rubber membrane. TPO is more of like a vinyl kind of, it's a white roof. We don't really do anything with that. We mainly stick to asphalt shingle and EPDM rubber.
Okay, and you're dabbling in the metal?
Not yet. We want to. We want to. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Hopefully at some point in the near future.
And it's clay and concrete tiles used up here?
Not necessarily. You may see it on older homes, but some people do get it installed. It's a real specialty. Not too many guys around here work on it.
I remember my parents' house had slate.
Yeah.
And that was always a challenge to get repaired.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yeah, we do quite an amount of slate removal, not an installation though. They're great roofs.
Okay, so who are your typical customers?
Mostly residential homeowners. I'd say 90% of our work is done residential, 10% is commercial, which would be business owners and things like that. So we mainly stick to residential homeowners.
How do I know when I need to have my roof replaced?
Well, there's several ways. One, if it's leaking, start there. Yeah, if your roof is leaking, you want to get it replaced. If it just starts not to look too good, you go outside, you notice a lot of staining. It's a lot darker than it usually is. There's a lot of moss up there. Your roof is as green as your grass is, and it's probably a good time to get a roofer to come out and take a look at it for you, point you in the right direction.
Is it possible to scrub a roof off, get the moss off, and still retain the roof?
Well, anything is possible. It's not necessarily the best option. It depends on how far into the process the moss moss has grown onto your roof. If it's just kind of in the beginning stages, you may be able to get it pressure washed, but if it's really on there thick, when you go to remove it, it's going to end up taking the little granules off with the shingle, and now you're causing more damage to the roof.
Well, I'll tell you, I had that growing on my house, and I had some people come by, and they got up there and they scrubbed it.
Yeah.
And about 2 years later, I replaced it.
See, I need you then as a testimonial because no one believes me.
Yeah, I would not recommend that. A lot of granular stuff came off and clogged up my gutters.
Oh yeah,
that sort of stuff.
Oh, it's good to hear it from you.
No, I would say don't do that. Don't do it.
See, you heard it.
So that's good. So when's the best time to have a roof installed? I mean, you don't want to do it in the middle of winter, I suspect.
No, you don't want to do it in the middle of winter unless you absolutely have to. There's procedures for cold climate installations, but ideally you want to do it springtime, summertime. That way it has the entire rest of the year to really seal and set to itself. So come late fall, wintertime, that roof is going to be nice and sealed to itself, so no high winds will lift it up or blow it off or do any new damage to the new roof. So spring, summer, that's where you want to be.
Okay.
Yep.
And other advertisements when watch TV, obviously, other advertisements you see is get solar and save world hunger, right?
Sure.
Save world hunger, save
everything.
the planet, right?
Save everything.
So I did that,
and
I had a lot of discussion internally about whether I should go to a separate structure or I could put it on the roof of the house. And what do you find people doing on that and their success with it?
Yeah. Well, everyone, as far as I know, usually goes on the roof. Once in a while, we see it off the roof. But I'm a firm believer in the less holes in a roof, the better. So, I'm not anti-solar. I'm all for it. I get it. But it kind of goes against everything I do. But I do suggest getting an inspection of your roof after solar is installed by someone, not the company who did it, a separate company to go up there, make sure everything was done correctly, make sure there's no additional damage or additional holes up there that shouldn't be there other than what's for the solar, kind of take it from there. So
I get it. I get it. That's a good thought. Now you gave me another project. Thank you very much.
Give us a call.
But how long should a roof take to install?
Generally,
residents?
Yeah, about a day to 2 days. It all depends on how big the project is, how much details involved, wood replacement, stuff like that. That'll determine how long it's going to take.
All right,
but
great.
1 to 2 days.
Great. Well, we're just about out of time, but what we're going to do is we're going to post your contact information at the end of this so people can get a hold of you and find out what they can do about the roof for their home.
Let's do it. Excellent.
Thank you very much for coming in.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, well, we are back here in the studio, and we are with Kate Chroust. She is the Senior Director of the Career Center at Endicott College, and we are so happy to have you here today. Kate, thank you so much for taking the time.
So happy to be here.
Excellent. We are talking about the internship program that Endicott College has, and I want every business out there to know that there are interns available to them. Could you talk to us about the process of gaining an intern and how important has this program been to the college?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the program. So there's a couple of different ways that you can have interns. So Endicott College's internship structure is a dream structure, in my opinion. And I've worked at a few different schools. So coming to Endicott has been such a dream job for me. But so every student does 3 internships. 2 short-term internships, which is typically 120 hours, and then either in their senior year, typically a semester-long internship or a co-op. Okay. So businesses have the opportunity to tap into either one of those. So typically students in their first semester, and what actually makes Endicott a little bit more unique than other schools is that every student not only has to do those internships, but they also have to go through career prep classes every year before that internship. So right from the get-go, students come in their freshman year, they are put into a class with an internship faculty that's dedicated to them throughout this process, and they talk about interviewing, they talk about professionalism, they talk about what they want that first internship to look like, and this happens in every school within Endicott. And then they go out for their first internship either during the winter or summer. So we have a whole database of companies that have hosted interns before, and so students reach out to those companies a lot. But if a company wants to have an intern, they can contact us and we can post for them. We can send out the posting to faculty, staff, to really target the student that may be the best fit for them.
Got it. How does the process work as far as onboarding an intern? Is it hard? Is it something that's a lot of work for the business?
I would say it's a huge educational experience for the student, but also a huge value for the company, right? Our students are prepared, they hit the ground running, really with the mentorship and guidance from the company that is hosting them. So onboarding, they have a lot of resources for the company. We also, when a student comes to us and says, I want to do an internship at the chamber, they have to submit a proposal that talks about what they're going to be doing at that internship and what they're going to be focused on and what those objectives are and what they're going to accomplish. So both you and the student are on the same page, and they can really check in and make sure that those are being accomplished, and that the school's on the same page. So internship faculty is there to support the company in this, and they can really make sure that everyone's getting the best experience out of this.
So what about paying an intern? A lot of businesses might say, oh, do I need to pay them minimum wage? Do I need to pay them at all? I come from an era where you had an internship, it was a stipend and there was no real payment. It was like lunch every day kind of a thing. So what is it?
I would say it's definitely trending in a paid internship. A lot of companies are paying. And I would say that a lot of students are more invested if there is some sort of payment, whether it be a stipend, whether there be lunches. Any perks are really helpful in making the student feel that they're valued and that they really are a part of the company and what it is that they're doing. So any type of payment goes a long way.
I want to say from a personal testimonial that since I've been here at the Greater Beverly Chamber of Commerce for the past 6 years, I have relied like invaluably, if that's a word, right, on our graphic design interns. That is the one void in our office, absolutely. So what they do is help us each semester or for that 120 hours summer. I usually have at least 3 a year, quite frankly. I love it, and they help create the branding and the style for us within that time frame, and they're helping us promote everything that we do, everything. They've been absolutely invaluable. So I personally am grateful to fill that void, but I know you have so many other internship programs. How do you track the success of the program through your internship and the business itself?
So I keep track of all of the first destination data, and over 50% of our semester-long interns get full-time offers, which for me, what that really shows is that our interns are super valuable. They really are able to make a huge impact at the company, and that company really wants to keep them on after that. So, and what you've just said right there, we hear all the time, right? Most of our internships are so. The interns
they're rewarding.
Interns get so much out of it, and the company gets so much out of it. So it's really mutually beneficial to everyone.
What I have found is that the interns that are coming to me, I can't speak for every business, obviously, but they're very well trained. They already know what they're doing, and they work with us, and it's totally a process. Is there any kind of problem solving that you've had to do? We've only got about a minute left. Any kind of problem solving you've had to do, or how do you problem solve if there are any issues that arise?
And every situation is so unique, right? And I think that is one of the best parts of our program is that it's so well. You're so well supported. The student's really well supported. The internship, knows exactly who to contact if anything goes wrong. But really, you're really helping the student figure out what the future looks like and what they need to do in this industry, and really giving them that start. And it's a really reflective process too. So after they do an internship with you, they come back and say, "Is that what I really want to do?" Right? And they have a class that really sets them up for if I don't want to do this, where do I go next, right? And so it's a really reflective process, and you're really helping them in those early stages of their career.
Well, I really encourage any business who thinks that they can do it alone. They can't. Definitely look into talking to you, Kate, for an internship for sure. I want to thank you for coming on the show today.
Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. We're going to put your contact information on after this, and we're going to throw it back to John after we see the information from Kate.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you very much for the introduction here. We're back with Nick Mirabello, and Nick is the Chief Inspiration Officer for MP MP Wired for HR. So maybe you can tell us what a Chief Inspiration Officer is for the audience that might not know that term.
Sure, gladly. Thank you so much, John. Really, it's to focus on our engagement and retention at the team. So really focus internally on making sure our team feels engaged, connected, living our core values, as well as I'm working with a handful of our clients as well, and focusing on workshops, keynotes, and engagement for them.
So MP was started in 2004.
Yeah, 2004.
Right? So you're 20 years old at this point.
Yes, we'll be 20 this fall, which is very exciting.
And you've always been located in Beverly?
Yes, always been located in Beverly. That's our headquarters.
So why don't you talk a little bit about the breadth of services? I mean, my background is I used to do payroll in an intern for college one time, and I had a great time with it, working by hand. But go ahead, tell us a little bit about your services you provide.
Absolutely, thank you. Yeah, so we're human capital management software solutions, HCM platform that focuses on, first of all, leading off with payroll, time and attendance, applicant tracking, performance and learning, benefit administration. So really we can take the client customer from hire to retire in the software space and provide that tech for them, but also from in-person and virtual environment and human resources, our HR team. We have a great team of HR SHRM HR professionals that focus on HR compliance, creating handbooks, anything that makes sure that the company, the client can focus on their business, focus on their people, and we'll take care of the rest.
So keep them in compliance of what they have to do with all the various rules that are coming out on a weekly basis.
Exactly. State regulatories, everything's changing. So procedures and policies, make sure that's in place. So we can be your HR support, we can complement your HR team or your HR lead, as well as we have recruitment services and focus on recruiting. So we can handle the tech as well as the in-person.
So you're actually reaching out to people to recruit?
Well, so as we may know, the job market can be a full-time job trying to find a full-time job.
Right.
So when our clients need to find, to hire, which is great, they can lean, rather than going to other job boards or other recruiting services, they can come right to MPHR, and we'll take care of that as well. We have a whole team of talent acquisition rock stars, I like to say. They're fantastic, and they will get to know your business, know your organization, and find the right fit for you.
Okay, good. So what makes you unique among your competitors?
Sure. So a few things. One, I don't know exactly what our competitors do. I've heard stories, but one thing that's important here at MP is that when you call, you're going to get a dedicated representative that's going to handle your payroll, handle your anything that's got to do with your technology, support you, which is really important. So when you call up, you're going to get a Thomas or a Stephanie or a Lisa or a Dennis, and they already know your business. They've been meeting with you weekly. You don't have to repeat yourself. You don't have to wait on hold, which is really important. So that's first and foremost. Secondly is our team really focuses, and we're about 80 plus employees now full time, and we focus on our core values, living our core values daily, and really letting that go through to our clients as well, which is really important.
Okay.
And really heavy focus on culture, make sure our team feels engaged and supported and inspired.
So what areas do you cover geographically right now? I saw on your website you're looking for people in Florida, Boston area, so forth.
We've been lucky to grow. Jason Maxwell bootstrapped this business 20 years ago, a local guy, and he's done a tremendous job and built an incredible team and culture that we have now. So we started focusing right in Massachusetts and New England. That's when we first started, headquartered right across the street in Beverly and Cumming Center. But now we have expanded nationwide, which is great. So we have clients in all 50 states, and we can serve those HR policies in all 50 states. So we have about 1,500 clients across all.
Do you do international?
We don't do international, no. We don't do international. We stay local with all 50 states in the U.S. And then we have our team. We have about 40 team members. Half our team is based right in New England, so driving distance to Beverly. But we also have another 40 plus teammates spread throughout 22 different states, covering 3 different time zones.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what would you like to have the audience take from our discussion today?
Sure. Just first and foremost, thank you so much, John, for the opportunity. We really value our partnership with the Chamber. To take away, let them know that we work with companies all different sizes, small, medium, large. We have clients that have under 10 employees, mom and pop shops that are the backbone of our nation, running small business here locally in the greater Beverly Chamber area. We also have clients that have thousands of employees, so we can go small, medium, large to help them out with their tech services, so support them from the platform aspect, but as well as the human side of human resources, and bring that aspect to it, as well as we have a whole slew of content that's on our.
So you have a learning management system that you offer to them, and
that's which is so important.
That's where you put in your your
performance reviews,
and things
goals,
like that.
everything like that, for which is fantastic. Can really show the growth of the teammate, because we're all about personal growth, professional development. And one other thing I'll add too for mental health and wellness is we have a podcast that I get to host. They put together a podcast called The Morning Mindset. We started it back in COVID, and we've kept seasons going. We're now into season 3. That's a fun podcast that goes. But we also have webinars and blog content and e-newsletters that anyone can sign up at mp-hr.com.
Okay, super.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for coming
Absolutely.
in. I really appreciate the
My
time.
pleasure.
As I said to you before with the interview, I used to do payroll many years ago by hand.
Right.
And I
Not
can tell
easy.
you that's not high on my list of doing it by hand ever again. So anyway,
Right.
thank you again
Pleasure.
very
Thank
much.
you so
Good
much,
to
John.
meet you.
Great meeting you.
for
Thank
coming
you so
in.
much.
Okay.
Okay, well, we are back in the studio with our very own John King from Headway Strategies. Well, thank you, John, for coming into the studio.
Hey, it was very easy to do that today. I slipped it into my schedule.
Love that. So one of the things is we're always here talking to other businesses, but we never get a chance to talk to John. So we thought it would be a great opportunity to talk about his business, Headway Strategies, which is business consulting, but it's so much more than that. Can you talk to us about what you're doing and how'd you get into it?
Well, I had probably 40 years of information technology consulting and management. So when I was going through assessing retirement, semi-retirement, I decided that I would launch Headway Strategies.
Gotcha.
And Headway Strategies was intended to be a business coaching for both for businesses and also for youth. Because there's a lot of challenges that youths have as they're going through trying to decide what decisions they want to make to go to college, start a career,
Right.
get through life in general.
Right.
So that was one of the things I wanted to do. Things shift as you go along. When you're a solo entrepreneur, you do different things because you're one person, right? And so the last 5 years, I've been working on a project to bring authenticity and accountability to the internet. And what that means is that generally, and kids run into this if they're on Facebook, they have no idea who they're talking to.
Right, exactly.
No idea. And so what we offer is a way to identify an individual and get somebody to attest to their identity, and they have a digital certificate which goes with them. So we always know who it is that they're talking to. They know they've been vetted, if you would. So that's what we're working on.
Okay, so you're working on that, but you haven't launched it yet?
We're going to launch in the next couple weeks with a program which will let people become a member of this group, and they'll be able to join it. And we have other offerings coming down the way. I also work with notaries. We'll be able to doing that kind of further attestation of somebody for a business. So you're going to hire an employee, you have no idea. They tell you what they are, and you want to go back and do some background checking and things like that. Notaries can help you do that. They can do it remotely.
So as a parent, this is very interesting to me, of course. You know, my son, when he was playing Fortnite, he doesn't anymore, but when he was, or even Roblox, oh, mommy, the person I'm talking to from Russia is so nice. I'm like, they're not your friend. Do not tell them anything, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Because kids are, they're innocent and they think everybody's nice, right? And so this opportunity is for both schools, parents, business.
Yeah.
How are you going to market it?
Well, we're marketing right now to a small group to join what we call the Authenticity Alliance. And that will then avail them to having a digital signature. So they will be able to sign documents that, when you get an email right now, you assume it's from somebody, right? You assume it's from somebody, and that sometimes gets you in trouble. This way, it would be a digitally signed document that would come through, and you know that it hadn't been touched since the person sent it. So they've got accountability back to the person that wrote it. Now, maybe they didn't write it well, maybe they didn't express what they were trying to do well, but it went back to them, so you can go back to the person that actually wrote it.
I love this idea.
So that's what we're doing.
See, I had no idea what you were working on behind the scenes. So, John, with all that you're doing, talk to us also about the Coffee with a Coach. You mentor people?
Well, we try to do that. Coffee with a Coach Coach was a program that we started ran for about 18 months, and we met monthly. And we had a topic of interest to the people that attended, and then we would talk about what issues they had with their business they might want to try to talk about. They could share things on a particular area. So we would meet in a variety of locations, and what really stirred up the group was we were able to get bacon with breakfast. That was part of it. So we would meet over in various places, and we would do that.
But, add bacon, I'm in.
Yeah, we were in for bacon with breakfast, so that was part of it. But the other thing I do is I spent about 25 years working with the Scouts doing leadership training for them, and I do a workshop for them every year, maybe once or twice, and we talk about what leaders have to be, because if you think about it, in the Boy Scouts, or Scouts now because we have girls in the program, but you've got a 13 or 14-year-old person, and they're supposed to be responsible for 5 or 6 other persons as well, out in the woods with sharp implements and matches and things like that. So you've got to get them to understand that there's a responsibility that they have to take, and they have to demonstrate some level of leadership so they're able to get things done.
Right.
Because they have to work as a group, much like you talked about your son in his role in student council.
Yes.
It's the same kind of thing. They get that interplay there. So we're doing that, and I want to take it a step further because I want to develop one for high school students, because one of the challenges that they have is setting goals for where they want to go. And a lot of times people set a goal, they write it down, and that's the first step. But the second step is really, okay, so how do I get there? And what's the consequence if I don't get there? And the consequence of if I don't get there is pretty major. And then you have to drop down a step further. What are the mitigation factors that I'm going to do to make sure I do achieve that goal? So that's a program that I'd like to start in the fall with high school students.
I think every high school could use this program.
Well, I think so. I mean, I went through high school, and I was one of those. I reached my senior year, and I sat down with my dad, who was a physician, and I said, I don't think I want to go to college next year.
That didn't go over well.
that got his attention, and basically, I took a gap year, and I worked, and I did some traveling in a VW microbus, but I did some traveling, and I came back, and I got a job working with a startup. And then I went to college, and college was a letdown, because in the startup I was running around all over the place and learning things and meeting people and interacting with people. So I think that the internship you talked about earlier is very, very important for the development of a college student and a young person. So I think those are important things. I probably have talked out of my time.
A little bit, but that's okay.
I appreciate very much you.
We'll give you a pass. You know how it goes. But we'll put up your contact information, and then we'll both be back right after this.
Okay. Please get in touch with any of our guests directly to see how they might help you and your business. Alternatively, you can visit the Chamber website at greaterbeverlychamber.com to find other companies that may be of help to you. The website also has a calendar of Chamber events that may be of interest to you as well. Thanks again to BevCam's supportive staff for helping us deliver this programming to you and our audience. If you have any ideas of a particular topic you'd like to hear about or would like to understand how the Chamber membership can help your business, please get in touch with Leslie at lgould@greaterbeverlychamber.org. With that, we always want to remind you that whenever you're shopping, keep it local. Thank you very much for watching.